When we're starting to get to the finer details and we're wanting to add in some lines, there's a couple of different ways you could do it. The first way I did to add this line here is I painted the whole roof a little bit darker, and then I went over that roof with this lighter color, leaving just a little bit of it there, separating the building from the darker roof to the side of the building. And then I painted over the side of the building, leaving just that line there. But it's kind of a broken line. This is called an implied line. An implied line means that it might not be a complete line, but your eye fills it in. And it's actually more satisfying for your brain to have an incomplete line than it is for it to have something that is completely blocked out. So we don't really want to outline every single thing. You can see here in the roof line, there is no line at all. It's just a separation of values from the sky to the roof. That's all the difference is. When we're looking at these lines that I've laid in here, I kind of try to break them up, and this one isn't broken up quite enough. I probably need to go back in with this darker color and kind of cover some of that up and break it up a little bit. On the back of the building, once again, there is no line at all. It's just the different color against the different color. The same with the inside of the building here where the arch is. I'm not outlining it. I simply have painted it slightly darker here and then left it against the lighter building there, and it kind of fades in. When it all comes together, it winds up working nicely, and you can tell that the line I was talking about, this one right here, just kind of sticks out kind of harshly right now. It's not very unified. This line here, though, works nice. It's a softer line. It's kind of broken up. It's working, but this one is just kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. So I need to go in and cover that one up a little bit. So let me show you what that looks like in practice. We could use a flat brush like this one. That's what this is called. Or you could use a round brush. Round brushes are really great for getting very fine points, and they're really great for getting things that are round, like if you're painting a circle. My favorite brush, and what I suggest, is using one of these angle brushes. Now, these angle brushes are brand new, and each one of these angle brushes costs $5. So do not ruin them. They are not to be scrubbed like the other brushes that we have been using to scrub in things. This is for a different purpose. We want to keep a nice crisp line. Don't do too much mixing with this brush. You might want to mix with another brush or mix with a palette knife. This is a palette knife, so if you're trying to get a color, you can work it one way and then work it back the other way. Pull in some of these colors here. And I might even want to pull in some yellow or some red to try to add a unique color to it. Here on this building, I have some highlights that are right here and here that I really want to emphasize. And I'll show you the finished painting that I spent time doing in a second. However, right now, I'm going to load this brush up. The way I want to do this is you can put the brush on just the tip for a very fine line like this here, or making little small dots, or you can put it right on the angle, and I put my pinky down on the paper like this, and I am lining like this. I'm letting my pinky guide the height of the paintbrush, and I just barely let that paintbrush touch the paper, and I'm guiding that fine line like this. That is a technical skill that would be great for you to learn how to do a fine line by letting it guide like that. Having a tiny brush does not work because there's not enough paint. It won't go very far. However, right here, I want to just have a fine line, and then I'm gonna let it break up. I'm just gonna put a little bit here, a little bit there, a little here, and I don't know why I spilt water on it. And I might have just a little bit right here. I might have some highlights right here that I need to pull in just like that. And I know that they're coming at this angle because I've already painted this painting once. And I have some light shooting through these trees that are creating these highlights here. And it might touch the top of that roof just a little bit. Once again, I'm not making a complete line. I'm letting it stay broken up. And then right here, I'm just going to let that line separate from the trees just in the color. I know here on this piece of wood, there's a little highlight, so I'm gonna hit that and that. Okay, you get the idea. Don't just outline it, have these hints of lines. And you can see just here where I've hinted at these lines, it completely puts in that piece of wood that is holding it. And from a distance, that's even too strong. I want to get rid of some of that. But from a distance, it really makes that line come into play, and it works. So if you mess up and you need to come in to make it a little bit different, you need to cover up some of that, I might come in and cover some of that up. There we go. Now it's looking nicer. All right.